Williams. Now, as you guys know, Wendy Williams has a biopic coming out on Lifetime at the end of this month. And whenever you have a biopic, you have to tell everything. You have to be willing to give it all, because that's what make a biopic good. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I seen the trailer for it on Lifetime. The acting is trash. Trash is trash. They should have let BET do it, in my opinion. They should have let anybody else, but Lifetime is finna mess this up just like they did the Aaliyah movie. But it ain't my biopic and it ain't my business. But Wendy Williams did actually say that she was allegedly date raped back in the day. And that she was date raped by the late R&B singer Sharik. I think that's how you see it. I think that's how you say it. Now, I had never heard of this guy. I looked him up when this story broke the other day, and I was just like, oh, okay. I just didn't know much about him, but his widow has actually responded. But let me tell you how Wendy described the situation. So Wendy said that back in the day when she was on radio, she actually interviewed Sharik, and that her and Sharik were mesmerized by one another. She said that, as a matter of fact, Sharik was one of the only ones that actually turned the interview on her, and he was asking questions about her, and that she got lost in his eyes. Now remember, on her show, she always tells women, do not look in a man's eyes. Whatever you do, don't look in his eyes. That's really what's like making me believe this, because that's something she has always said. Now, moving along from that, as they were talking in the interview, Sharik then invited Wendy Williams to an album release party that was happening that night. And Wendy says that before that party happened, he date raped her. And that she also got, let me not say that word. She also got R-word in college as well. And when he said this has happened to a lot of women, it's happened to your mothers, your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, and so on and so forth, which is unfortunately true. And the majority of those assaults that happen, they never get reported to the police, and the perpetrators get away. Now, here's my thing. Coming forward today, a lot of people are saying, why is she talking about it now? Why talk about it now? Who cares? Well, it's because her biopic is coming out. As a matter of fact, Sharik's widow came out and said, this was a beautiful man with 3 beautiful children who are hurt by these accusations. Why talk about it now when the man cannot defend himself? Why not call the police? His family is hurt about this. Why talk about this now? His widow's name is Lynn Smith, as a matter of fact. Now let me tell you something, Lynn. Let me tell you something. Your husband may have been a beautiful man, a beautiful father. He may have been all of that, but that does not mean he don't have a past. See, that gets me with people when they think they really know people. You don't know shit. You barely know yourself. Why you think you know somebody? Can we tell people to stop saying this in 2021? Oh, I know her. Oh, I know him. He would never. She would never. You don't know what they would do. And quite honestly, I don't really think it's your place to speak on it. Look. I mean, that was your husband, so maybe it is. But I don't like when people say, like, oh, he would never do that. No, you don't know what he would do. Why didn't she report it? It was a different time. Maybe there was alcohol involved. You guys also have to keep in mind that back in Wendy's day, women would be blamed for their own assault based on how they dress. We know how Wendy Williams used to dress back in the day, really tight, really revealing, like that was just who Wendy was. And so she was probably afraid of going to the police and them saying, well, look how you dress. You wanted it. You was flirting with him in an interview. Like, she knew she would have had a lot to fight behind it. Do I wish she would have called the police if this actually happened? Yeah, I do. Am I going to say I don't believe this just because it happened over 20 some years ago? No, this could absolutely be real. Now, let me get back to why now. Because Wendy doesn't do anything that she's not going to profit off of. Wendy was trained and taught by the best of the best. And honestly, she learned a lot from her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, who was one of the ultimate hustlers. Hell, he hustled her for years, okay? I'm just saying it. You know, you look at a lot of these relationships that these black women have in Hollywood, and it's like, ma'am, you could have did this on your own. You ain't really need your husband. Your husband more needed you, but he beat down your self-esteem so much to trick you into thinking you needed him this whole time, and really he needed you. That's another conversation for another day. Why these black women with money marrying down and dating down, the world may never know. But she learned from the best of the best. You don't do nothing if you're not going to profit from your pain. You just don't. So I'm not going to talk about the fact that my husband's cheating on me now. I'm going to wait until my biopic is coming out. I'm not going to confirm that I'm going through this. I'm going to wait until we talk about it on the new season of the show. Wendy has always been like this, and she will always be like this because Wendy is queen of radio, and she knows how to tweak it and use it to her advantage. It is what it is. Now, to me, when she's reporting, it's not the same Wendy that we had before, but she done been through a lot. And I ask y'all all the time, was this just the trajectory of her life and how things were meant to end up for her with, you know, not having a husband now, which she would still be with if that shit had not broke the blogs and he had not got that girl pregnant. Because Wendy will let you know, I'm not the single girl, I'm a married girl. Because y'all know Kevin actually started cheating on Wendy right after she had Kevin Jr. Oh yeah, she went through like multiple miscarriages. We ain't gonna talk about the alleged abortions. That ain't my business. But she went through multiple miscarriages. Kevin Hunter was probably about 2-3 months. Her parents were staying at the house when she came into a room and saw Kevin Hunter literally on the phone with another woman, sweet talking that shit. And she let it go then. And she worked through it then. She knew about this other woman that had a house down the street. She knew it for years. She's not dumb. She just chose to ignore it and felt like, well, this is my husband no matter what. Let's just call it what it is. She didn't value herself enough to leave when she should have. And that's just what it is. So why she talking about it now? Because she gonna profit from her pain. And that's who she is. And as far as the widow that has something to say about it, well, honestly, I would love to see a conversation between the widow and Wendy. Like, you know, the widow was saying, okay, tell me how it happened. Tell me the exact details. I want to know everything. And I think that you should. And I think that the parents of men and women and the families of men and women need to stop saying what your family member would never do. If you really knew who your mother and father was, it would scare you. Stop saying what your kids would never do. Your kids do a lot of shit behind your back. A lot of y'all was sneaky too. Like, let's just stop faking and fronting like that. So if this lady want to talk about what happened to her, she can do that. This is her story. This is her story. I would hope she wouldn't make up a rape story just to sell a damn show, just to sell a damn biopic. But I think she waited until the right time when she knew she would benefit off of it. Now, do you call that slip? I just call it selective. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Embrace Pangea is a black-owned health and wellness brand that has solidified themselves as being able to take care of your yoni. But guess what? They do more than just service your yoni. Yes, as a matter of fact, Embrace Pangea has products to cover you from head to toe, inside and out. And in particular, let me tell you about a couple products that I personally use. Number one is the herbal tooth powder that is better than any toothpaste that you will get over the counter. It will get your teeth clean and help your teeth to maintain a natural white shade. And in addition to that, the advanced botanical mouthwash is something that we all should have in our medicine cabinet. Now, when you look at a bottle like this with 25 potent herbs like echinacea, golden cell, don't laugh at me if I mispronounce that, you know what I meant. We need these natural ingredients in our mouth rinses so that we can fight tooth decay, gingivitis, all of that plaque, halitosis, and overall poor oral hygiene. Okay, so if you want to get a good clearance when you go to the dentist, get you some Embrace Pangea. And in addition to that, make sure you use my code STORM to get 10% off your order at checkout